Anton Chigurh is not your typical Hollywood villain. He doesn't have a tragic backstory or even a clear motive. In fact, he's often described as an enigma, a puzzle that audiences can't quite figure out. But that's what makes him all the more fascinating to analyze. Well, forget the Joker, Hannibal Lecter, or Darth Vader for now. In this video, we'll dwell into the depths of Anton Chigurh's character, examining his values, his lack of empathy, and the twisted purpose behind his murders. The blood-soaked pages of Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men come to life in the hands of the Coen brothers. Their faithful adaptation of the novel brings forth a chilling tale of a lone hitman, brought to life by the impeccable Javier Bardem, under the meticulous direction of the Coen brothers. As they scoured the land in search of the perfect actor to embody this enigmatic character, they knew they needed someone who could embody the otherworldly nature of their creation. A figure so menacing, so devoid of humanity that he could have come straight from a different planet himself. And when they found Bardem, they knew they had struck gold. This is a performance that will haunt you long after the credits roll. You see, Chigurh is the epitome of a well-crafted character. Every detail from his age to his education has been carefully thought out to create a person who is entirely believable. But what sets him apart is the fact that his background is intentionally left out of the story. You might assume that with Javier Bardem's accent, Chigurh may have some sort of Hispanic heritage, but the truth is we're never given any confirmation. This ambiguity only adds to his intrigue. It's as if we are constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, never quite sure what to expect. And let's not forget about his oddball haircut. It's a seemingly small detail, but it speaks volumes about his character. Hairstylist Paul LeBlanc modeled it after a typical look from the Crusades, a time when danger lurked around every corner, and that's exactly what Chigurh is, timeless and dangerous. From the moment he appears on screen, the audience is captivated by his peculiar appearance and eerie demeanor. His hair is disheveled, his clothes are ill-fitting, and his expression is one of cold detachment. His voice is quite gravelly, and his movements are stiff yet fluid, making him seem almost inhuman. Even his manner of eating peanuts is unsettling, as he places each piece into his mouth with a precision that feels almost mechanical. But despite his strange behavior, Chigurh is capable of shocking acts of violence, demonstrating a level of skill and toughness that is both impressive and terrifying. Chigurh, in the opinion of costume designer Mary Zerfres, is an outsider, a criminal who originated completely from another region or nation. Although he wears a denim jacket, it is not like anybody else's. He also keeps up with the times a little bit better. He has a slightly larger collar. He wears one of those hip belts, not a belt from the West. He wears a boot that is virtually lethal. Additionally, they had extremely tilted heels, and a toe that made you squirm when you looked at them. They are pointed, rough, and might kill someone. Moreover, Anton Chigurh is not your average killer with a gun or knife. He wields a captive bolt stunner, an instrument typically reserved for slaughtering cattle. The weapon strips his victims of their humanity, revealing Chigurh's cold, calculated disregard for human life. But Chigurh's mystique doesn't end there. His origins are shrouded in mystery, and his accent is difficult to place. As actor Javier Bardem explains, he worked hard to neutralize his Spanish accent, leaving Chigurh's origins unknown. His name, Anton Chigurh, was intentionally kept untraceable, with no clear indication of his ethnicity or nationality. All of these details combine to make Chigurh an unfamiliar and unsettling figure. He is a stranger in a strange land, a predator who cannot be easily classified or understood. His actions are shrouded in mystery, and his mere presence sends shivers down your spine. With each encounter, the tension builds, and you're left wondering what horrific act he'll commit next. He's a killing machine, relentless and unstoppable, like the Terminator or Michael Myers. Let's look at the incident with the deputy. The deputy makes use of one of his main weapons, precaution and stealth. While he's on his phone, he approaches the deputy silently, slipping his legs beneath his shackles, before brutally and mercilessly strangling him. Anton wears a mask of complete rage, with a tinge of glee on his face, as the deputy struggles against his restraints. After finishing, he calmly washes his hands before picking up his belongings and walking away from the deputy's lifeless corpse. Throughout the whole movie, we don't see Anton displaying the same level of wrath as he did while he was fighting the deputy, but we do see him acting with stealth, ruthlessness, and a lack of emotion in the bulk of his moments. Even the minor decision in the sound design serves to support this notion. If you pay close attention when the deputy is being strangled, you can hear a passing train. We had to find a way to give Chigurh his normal theme, with sound instead of using a piece of music, says supervising sound editor Skip Lievse. So we began playing around with the faraway thunderclap. Consequently, the train theme resulted. The train is an oral representation of Chigurh as a direct force that cannot be stopped. But there are moments that make Chigurh almost human, like when he sits in Llewellyn's trailer with a bottle of milk. It's an odd choice for his character, and he doesn't even drink it. Instead, he just sits there like an android bot, pretending to be a human. It's an unsettling sight that only adds to Chigurh's enigmatic nature. While Chigurh's actions are often horrifying and brutal, some people have tried to analyze his philosophy to gain a deeper understanding of his character. One interpretation of Chigurh's philosophy is that he is a kind of nihilist who believes that there is no inherent meaning or value in life. He seems to view human beings as disposable objects and is willing to kill anyone who gets in his way without remorse or hesitation. He also has a fascination with chance and randomness, which he sees as the ultimate arbiters of fate. Chigurh often asks people to flip a coin to determine their fate, which suggests that he believes in the arbitrary nature of existence. Another interpretation of Chigurh's philosophy is that he is a kind of existentialist who believes that individuals are responsible for creating their own meaning in life. He often talks about the importance of choice and seems to believe that people must take responsibility for their actions, no matter how unpleasant or violent they may be. Chigurh's obsession with a chance could be seen as a way of affirming the randomness of existence, which creates an opportunity for individuals to exercise their own free will. While the details were intriguing, they only scratched the surface of why Anton Chigurh was a truly great character. He was much more than just a ruthless killer. He perfectly embodied the theme of No Country for Old Men. This was no ordinary story. It was a heart-pumping, spine-tingling thrill ride, with every action having moral implications that express a larger theme. The plot was classic, with characters chasing after a bag of money, but the underlying themes were deep and thought-provoking. It was a story about confronting the brutal and violent world around us, where everything seemed arbitrary and senseless. To truly understand it, you had to immerse yourself in the movie and examine the characters, their motivations, and their struggles to make sense of the world around them. Sheriff Bell was the main character who grappled with these existential concerns. He longed for the past, for simpler times, but found himself overwhelmed by the new form of violence that he couldn't comprehend. And that's where Chigurh came in. He represented the senseless and inexplicable violence that Bell couldn't wrap his head around. Chigurh was the embodiment of this violence, with his hair, choice of weapons, and random killings. As the story unfolded, it became clear that Chigurh was more than just a character in a book. He was an idea, a force of nature that couldn't be tamed. He was a man with his own twisted reasons for his actions. From taking the lives of the men whose cars he stole to brutally murdering the hotel clerk who had seen him. But he never killed without a reason. That is, until he played the game of chance with the gas station clerk, where he found pleasure in taking a life for no discernible reason. Anton was a psychopath, living his life by pragmatism and obsessed with using the right tool for the job. He was a man who never made unnecessary moves, never placing himself under any limitations that could lead him astray. Anton was loyal to his organization, but lacked any regard for human life, remorse, or empathy. He would kill a screaming little girl if she stood in the way of him accomplishing his goals, without hesitation or remorse. He was a monster, containing nothing redeemable in his character. Now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Anton Chigurh? Do you think he's a compelling character or just a terrifying monster? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth character analysis and other exciting content. Thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.